In this video, we're going to look at how you can validate files that users are attempting to upload to your storage. And you can see that currently on my screen I have the add picture control. And if I click to add a file to this, and I have two images, so we'll add this JPEG. I have built functionality that displays to my users that the file is ready to upload and my upload button is enabled. If I clear this out and add an Excel file, which I do not want my users to upload, PowerApps displays invalid file, my upload button is disabled. Let's see how this is done. We will begin by adding the add picture control from the media dropdown. And we'll place that right on our screen. And although this is really geared towards pictures, it works well with other files too, as you will see. I use it to upload PDFs, Excel files, images to pretty much exclusively with Azure Blob Storage. Azure Blob Storage works really well with this. So I'm going to select the Add Media button. And from the drop down, I'm going to select the on select property. And we will create a collection. Clear collect. Call file split, comma. Now we will invoke the split function. Split add media button. Add media button. So we're going to select the add media button that's on our screen here. Dot file name. So it's going to pick up the file name of whatever file is attached to this control, comma. Now we need to define a separator for our split function. And it can be any character. I'm going to use the period in this case because we're working with file names. And as far as I know, all file names, the file name and the extension is split with a period. We'll close that out. Okay. One other function I'm going to add to this is I'm going to define a standard case to this collection. And we'll say lower. So sometimes I have found that extensions could be uppercase, they could be lowercase. This will make it easy. You will not have to code that in whenever we are validating files. So it'll just standardize all file extensions. With that done, let's see how this works. I'm going to insert a gallery. Just move this over here. And for the items, I'm going to type in our collection. I'm going to apply a layout to the gallery, title. So we will put the app into preview mode. Tap. I have two images. And you see that the image is attached. We have the file name, the file extension, two items within the collection. Great. Let's add a label. So I want to display a message to our users that they have attached an appropriate file. Within the text property, I'm going to type in an if statement. If last call file split dot result. So we're getting the last item in this collection. If it equals lowercase JPG. I'm going to add in two vertical slashes to indicate or if last call file split dot result. If it equals lowercase png, double quotes. So if the last item in the collection equals JPG or PNG, I want to display the message file ready to upload, comma. If it's not one of those, I want to display the message, invalid file. Close that out. I'm going to uppercase the I there. Invalid file. By completing that, you can see that PowerApps, that label is displaying file ready to upload because it is a valid file. But if I put this back in a preview mode, click on change picture, and this is something that's really annoying. You have to select all files. I have an Excel file. If I attach that, invalid file, because I haven't defined this extension as valid. So that helps my users, but we want to go a little bit further. I'm going to add two buttons. Two buttons at the bottom, and this one will say clear file. This one, upload file. With the onSelect property on my clear button, I'm going to add the formula clear call file split. This will clear my collection, semicolon, reset, add media button. Okay. So in preview mode, if I click clear file, this is reset back to default. My collection is now empty. But the label still displays invalid file. And I would like for it to perform a little bit better because there's nothing attached. If I click on the label, how I have handled this is I adjust the visible property with an if statement. So with the visible property, I say if is blank add media button. If that is blank, false. If it's not blank and there is a file attached, true. So if there's nothing attached, the label is invisible. Now, if I test this out, I add the Excel file, the label displays a message. What I also like to do is I like to disable my upload button if there's nothing attached or if they have attached something invalid. The upload button is where, with your onSelect property, is where you would add the code to initiate the file upload to the storage. And I don't want them clicking that if there's nothing attached or if there's the wrong file attached. So with the upload button clicked, I use the display mode property. And we're going to use another if statement. And we're going to validate this against the label number 2. If label number 2.text equals invalid file, comma, disabled. So if it equals invalid file, this button will be disabled. Otherwise, edit. Great. We have an invalid file attached, and the button is grayed out and unclickable. If I clear this out, it's still disabled because even though the label is invisible, the text that's within the label still says invalid file. So it's still disabled. And if we attach a valid file, a PNG, the button is enabled and it's ready for the users to upload. So this is how I validate files before I allow my users to upload them to my storage. It's worked well, and I hope it helps you with your PowerApps development. And thank you for watching.